fully armed to the teeth. Is he a terrorist? Has he committed treason? Is he a treasonable offense? Bias is becoming too much. We are going to rise up against this unfortunate treatment. It looks like state institutions being weaponized.
Reinforced police were deployed to help prevent agitations by angry MPP supporters who had massed up at the court premises.
Right, so that's what transpired in court earlier today. Let's engage private legal practitioner Austin Bracco-Powers on this issue of the police and the state agencies detaining people or some individuals. You know, a number of times they've said that it has gone beyond the mandated 48 hours. So what exactly is his thought on this? Mr. Bracco-Powers, good evening. Thank you for joining us on News 360.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening to your viewers.
Let me precede the conversation with a quote by Martin Pebu, who put on Facebook that keeping Abronya DC in custody for another week is not good law. This is, so let me now come to you. What do you make of his thoughts that the current process of even trying to keep Abronya within the law is not what the law expects of every individual?
I think it's a fine thin line, and in one part I agree with Martin People, but on the other side, the court has a responsibility. In fact, the court has a mandate. When you look at the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act 1960, Act 30, when you look at Section 96(5)(b), the court has an opportunity or has a responsibility to decide whether or not to withhold, deny, or decline bail to any accused person if the court is convinced that the person may interfere with the witness, evidence, or even hamper police investigation. In fact, even in Martin Pebu's own case, Martin Pebu number 2, the Supreme Court was clear that if a court exercises its discretionary power under Section 96(5), the court may be justified to do so, provided the court is convinced that there is evidence to ground the denier. So I think the judge may have exercised his discretionary power. But then again, it begs the question, was it fair? Because when the Constitution is clear that anyone who exercises a discretionary power must make sure that it is fair and it is not being used to punish anybody. So for me, I believe the judge could have, because you cannot continue to deny somebody bail because the police are still investigating. And I have said so many times that the police are hiding behind some of the loopholes in our laws to perpetuate some remote control some accused persons and try to deny them bail because of, under the pretext of sometimes we are investigating, we are not done. But the judge, I think the judge should have taken a decisive decision.
Right.
Because
and on the back of this, sorry for cutting in, on the back of the fact that some are already saying, for instance, that even murder up to some extent is bailable. And if you look at the charge that have been brought against Abronya, which is that it is because of his utterances, that should have easily been bailable. Wouldn't you agree? And for the judge, not in this case the police, but for the judge to also more or less agree with the police that for this particular offense, we are going to retain him here within the premises of the police. That is quite concerning, isn't it? Unfortunately, we seem to have lost the connection to Austin Bracco-Powers. We are having a conversation on the back of the fact that Abronya, the Bono Regional Chair of the NPP, who is currently in police custody, has gone to court. And unfortunately, the court decided not to grant him bail. And it looks as though he would have to stay within the police premises for another week. So we'll try and see what this means for fighting issues that the judge himself said is the issue of many people using unfortunate and savory language which he says is quite concerning and we all need to start working on. We'll try and see if we can get a better connection to him coming up.
Right, Martin, while we are trying to get counsel back, let's run this by you. Ghana's Foreign Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa is in neighboring Ivory Coast to oversee diplomatic processes to facilitate the return of over 13,000 Ghanaians seeking asylum. It follows weeks of fighting at Binyili in the Sala Tuna Kalba district of the Savannah region, with over 30 deaths recorded and thousands displaced. The over 13,000 Ghanaians seeking asylum have been living in campsites with concerns raised over access to food and potable water. President Mahama, during his media encounter Wednesday night, revealed ongoing mediation efforts to resolve the conflict. Let's cross over to Marina Igbeta, who is in Ivory Coast right now with the minister. Marina, good evening to you. Talk to us about the minister's arrival and what has been happening.
And so we're currently at Abidjan, where the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, touched down some hours ago, meeting his counterpart here in Ivory Coast. And the mission is quite simple. That Binyiri conflict, which has led to over 40,000 persons displaced and over 30 individuals killed, we know that some 13,000 plus Ghanaians have been escaping that conflict, and they've crossed the border in Savannah region into Ivory Coast, where they're living in camps, amongst many other things. There have been concerns about availability of food, shelter, potable water as well. That's the mission of the foreign minister, who's currently at Abidjan in a meeting, we understand, with the chief of missions here at Ivory Coast, who have been on the ground assessing what the situation has been with the over 13,000 Ghanaians who've been camping in the border towns close to the Savannah region, where we understand that now enough provision is being made because there's been donations coming through, not just from the Ghanaian government as well, but as well from the Ivorian authorities who've been seeking to intervene. But there's a process that must see through for these Ghanaians to return into the country. That requires a lot of diplomatic talks, and so Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa is here, and that conversation kick-started at the airport, where we saw Mr. Okudzeto-Ablakwa and his counterpart engaged in a brief conversation. Some 10+ minute missions here is currently underway. The expectation is that upon the briefing which he is receiving from the Ghanaian mission, who have been in touch with these individuals, the 13,000 plus, he will be visiting the camp tomorrow, where processes will begin. We know that the president on Wednesday night, in that address with the media, amongst many other things, spoke of what processes are expected to begin to see them come through. That is one of the many things we're seeing the foreign minister begin today, and he will touch base with the 13,000 plus individuals tomorrow. And the expectation is that diplomatic ties will be smoothened, and for the subsequent return of these Ghanaians, even as mediation talks continue back home in Ghana.
Now, at the heart of this matter is the concerns about the living conditions of these Ghanaians. How are they managing? Do we know?
Rightly so. I mean, the concern has been the living conditions of these 13,000 plus individuals. There were questions about whether or not enough food was being given to them, questions about whether or not they were living well, and even in the camps, some of which we've known to be in Ghana, fears of disease outbreak amongst many other things. That's the update that the foreign minister is seeking to receive at this particular point in time. What we've been able to glean from the foreign affairs staff and then the mission team here in Ghana is that, one, there's been donations that's been coming through from Ghana and then Ivory Coast. The assurance they've been given is that there's been intervention since the details came to the fore that a number of Ghanaians had crossed the border, and so conversations have been ongoing between Ghanaian counterparts and Ivorian counterparts as well, seeking to smoothen the process for them and to the best of their ability, provide a conducive atmosphere for them. We know that nothing beats home, and living in tents cannot compare to being in your home where these 13,000 plus individuals were living up until the conflict erupted and they had to flee. But they say that they've been working steadfastly to provide, to the best of their ability, as much comfort as they can, and to ensure that food is available, water is available, and a place of convenience as well is available for them to be able to see through up until when they can return. What we also do not know, which we'll be seeking to get details of from the foreign minister after this briefing, which is still ongoing even as we speak, is what the timelines are to have these Ghanaians return and what other facilitation processes will be required between now and when for them to return. But we'll get all of these details and as well touch base with these Ghanaians who've been here and get their side of the story as to the journey into Ivory Coast, what the living conditions have been and how soon they are seeking to return, because we know as well that back home the Ghana Education Service has been seeking to, amongst many other things, provide a means through which schools can reopen for education to begin for the young ones. These and more other questions we'll be seeking to get answers from the foreign minister when we lay our hands on him.
Right, Mawina, we'll be looking forward to all of those answers when you report subsequently. Mawina Igbeta is my colleague reporting from Ivory Coast there.
The paramount chief of Tingawura Alhaji Abdul Saidu, who doubles as the Council of State representative of the Savannah region, has commended the IGP Special Operation Team for their timely intervention in stabilizing the security situation in Bole and its surrounding communities. According to him, the arrival of the team played a crucial role in calming tensions, restoring peace, and reassuring residents who can now go about their daily activities without fear.
As part of efforts to promote lasting peace and community cohesion, the IGP Special Operations Team held a strategic engagement with the Paramount Chief of Tinga. The meeting formed part of the team's broader community engagement strategy, aimed at building trust, strengthening collaboration with traditional leaders, and fostering peaceful coexistence between the Brefos and the Gonja ethnic groups. The Tingawura emphasized that the presence of the team had brought renewed hope and confidence to the people of Bole, commending the team's professionalism, discipline, and neutrality.
Indeed, your coming around has been very timely. Officers and men like you have left your various stations, your wives and children, and you are here in Bole just trying to ensure that peace will be. I'm highly honored.
The leadership of the team expressed appreciation to the Paramount Chief and renewed their commitment to safeguard lives and property within the Bole and Sola jurisdictions. The Special Operations Team has meanwhile instituted several measures including conflict resolution support, community sensitization, and curfew enforcement aimed at consolidating the peace achieved in the area. Later in the evening, the Special Operations Team embarked on a routine night patrol to ensure strict compliance with the government-imposed curfew. The operation focused on monitoring identified flashpoints and securing newly emerging areas of concern. Highway and community patrols revealed a remarkable level of public compliance. 2 individuals, identified as Stephen Yusuf and Abu Awudu, were however arrested for violating curfew rules.
Get up for the motor!
Hey, listen, are you not aware it's curfew hours? No, why are you riding at this time?
They were detained at the Bole District Police Station along with their unregistered motorbikes.
If Council of State member can obey the case and you misbehave and they slap you, I will say they should add 2 more.
And our lawyer and politician Samuel Atachia has criticized government and the Attorney General for prosecuting his client's former director of the Signals Bureau, Kwabena Duboahen, and denying him the opportunity to a fair trial. He spoke to Beatrice Edru in a yet-to-be-aired interview.
Immediately you use the press, then you want to taint the person before you start the prosecution. So the question is, if you destroy a family in the press, that they are thieves, they've stolen so much money, they should come for plea bargaining, only to be acquitted and discharged by a court of competent jurisdiction. How do you repair the damage? So this reset way of NDC is not consistent with the Constitution.
The Attorney General didn't think that he was painting the accused black. He thought that he was informing Ghanaians because of the amount involved.
Maybe if not paid attention to that press conference. It was a horrible spectacle of our criminal jurisprudence. He said they are people who are going to go to jail and they better come for plea bargaining. I wish you pay attention to all that he said.
I remember he said all of that.
Yeah, he said all that because then at that point in time it was the court and the prosecutor in a public space where they've packed their own people to deal with the matter. Because I didn't hear one journalist being bold enough. Attorney General, you are wayward. This is the first time we are seeing you, an Attorney General doing this. What is the presumption of innocence as enshrined in the Constitution? Every man, for that matter, woman, is presumed innocent until proven otherwise by a court of competent jurisdiction, not in the media space.
We've had a journalist asking that question in one of his press conferences, and he answering that, like I just told you, that it wasn't to prosecute the person in the public.
But when you say somebody, you have condemnable evidence against another person, and in fact, it will be in his best interest to come and plead bargain. What are you saying? You are guilty by my standards, not by the standards of the court of competent jurisdiction. And do you know who is speaking? The Attorney General, the Article 88 creature in the Constitution, the one supposed to administer justice and fair play. So that was very distasteful, and now we are in the court. But let me tell you one of the things which happened also. The theatrics did not start with the Attorney General. Can you imagine that a security couple of the realm called Ghana comes to Ghana through Kotoka International Airport, not through the bush, and he's supposed to be prosecuted or investigated. And then when he's in the airport, they put a handcuff on his hand like a common criminal. All that I've come to know is that when you say you are investigating somebody, a phone call, yes, Kwabena Dubuain, Yoko would want you to come over tomorrow for us to start an investigation. You may come with your lawyer, and the time scheduled you for the interrogation is 1 p.m.
On to some other stories now. President John Dramani Mahama has unveiled a comprehensive national plan to achieve 100% self-sufficiency in Ghana's poultry production within the next 3 years. The ambitious strategy, dubbed Nkukon Kitten Project, will be launched next month and will involve direct distribution of 7 million day-old chicks to producers nationwide.
I want to congratulate the National Service Authority. I want to congratulate all you young National Service people and volunteers. You've really done a good job. I'm very impressed. And they said, your food, your panel, and your piano. You are climbing a good tree. So I'm going to push you with all my strength. And so Ruth, you and your team, I want to congratulate you. In October, I'm going to visit your maize farms. I know National Service has also planted a lot of maize in different parts of the country. In October, I'm coming to visit your maize farm, and it complements this farm because the maize can be processed into feed. We will help National Service to also set up a feed mill so that you produce your own feed to feed your chickens. You also have a vegetable farm producing tomatoes and others. I'll take my time and visit all your projects so that government will know the kind of support we can give you. And so let me thank you all very much, and God richly bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you.
The President will officially hand over to AgroInnova, who are...
Let's now take you to the Ashanti region, where all social activities are expected to stay on hold. A series of rituals are performed to bid the late Asantehemaa Nana Kuneduyadom III a farewell. Thousands of mourners are expected to join the Asantehemaa for the royal burial rites. Benjamin Edu has filed the following report.
The main rituals are scheduled to begin on Sunday, September 14 and continue through to Thursday, September 18. The final burial rites will be performed on September 18, during which residents are expected to remain indoors. Additionally, all shops and markets within the Kumasi metropolis and parts of the region will be closed on the day of the final ritual rites. The chairman of the planning committee for the funeral and paramount chief of Bompata, Nana Efa Apinting, encouraged residents to adhere to the directives.
Let's give reverence and honor to all the protocols concerning the funeral of the Queen Mother. Let's stay indoors as directed.
The committee members have also put in place a comprehensive health program for the funeral to prevent any disaster. Hiahine Nana Professor Oheniba Buache Ajewa Hine II is chairman of the health committee.
When it comes to health, it's so critical that we all prepare ourselves for these 4 days that are ahead of us. Because as we know, there's going to be a lot of people at the funeral grounds. And it's also a very large and extensive location. It's very important that we all prepare ourselves to avoid incidents and accidents and any injury or any health complications. Now, the health committee has also established stations. There will be 5 health stations marked conspicuously, so you cannot miss it. One near the Menchia Museum entrance, one near Opemso Station, which would take care of the Jabrim crowd, and then one at Nanahema's place, just be at near the prisons. There will be another station near the Ukude area by the administration, and then one also set up at Menchia Hospital ANC.
Now, Ghanaian truck drivers today blocked the Paga border, halting all traffic from Burkina Faso and disrupting businesses in protest of a policy by the Burkinabe government barring trucks with length more than 54 feet and heights of more than 13 feet. The drivers demanded action by Ghanaian authorities to resolve the issue. Our Upper East Regional correspondent Castro Senyala was at the border and has come through with this report.
What began as a regular bustling day at the Paga border turned into a scene of chaos and gridlock as angry and frustrated truck drivers blocked the road with metals and tree trunks in a heated protest. For several hours, all activities at the border came to a standstill as the drivers gathered in large numbers to protest a directive by Burkinabe authorities to bar vehicles with lengths of 54 feet and heights of 13 feet from entering their territory. The protest resulted in trucks transporting perishable food items and other important goods from Burkina Faso into Ghana stranded. According to the drivers, the directive took effect since the beginning of September this year, and all efforts to get the attention of higher Ghanaian authorities to intervene have proven futile, necessitating the protest.
They say we have transport minister. And for me, as a driver, I don't know the transport minister. Who is the transport minister? We get manager, big man for union. We there for border here about two weeks to 3 weeks. Which big man come here and call the drivers and tell them something? Nobody. Who is fighting for the drivers? They should come out and come to the border and call the drivers. Then we know say it be them they're fighting for we.
The Paga border is one of the largest in the country, serving as a critical gateway for the movement of goods to and from the Sahel region. With an average of between 60 to 100 trucks crossing daily, inaccessibility could cause serious economic concerns. But the angry drivers have warned they will undertake more blocks if their concerns are not addressed.
We want our big mans to come and talk to them how they will fit defend this and get our free and then to release us to go. That's the problem. They should come out and come to the border and call the drivers. Then we know say it be them they're fighting for we.
The hours-long gridlock forced a higher level, closed-door meeting between Ghanaian and Burkinabe officials. After the talks, the Kastanakana West District Chief Executive, Stephen Akurugu Aike, addressed the drivers, assuring to escalate their concerns to higher authorities for redress.
We are getting solution to the problem. We have met with the security. The security officers from Burkina Faso have also met us, and they have given us their word. It is not also easy for them. They are also feeling the pain in Burkina Faso, simply because of the action you people have done. So they have gone and they said they will give us good news.
Meanwhile, joint efforts by border state security agencies, including the Immigration Service, Customs, Police, and the National Security, moved in swiftly to calm tensions and restore order. Reporting from Paga, Castro Signala, TV3 News.
In more news this evening, the managers and operators of the luckiest lottery game say they are committed to supporting festivals, describing them as vital cultural tools for promoting Ghana globally. This was revealed by brand ambassador, veteran actor and broadcaster Miki Osebeko when he led a delegation to donate cash and items to the Ogua Traditional Council ahead of the 2025 Ogua Fetu Afashe in Cape Coast.
The donation by the luckiest, a lottery entity, forms part of its corporate social responsibility. Led by its lead brand ambassador, the team presented an undisclosed amount of cash, a 45-inch television, and assorted drinks to the Ogua Traditional Council to support the 2025 Ogua Fetu Afashe. Brand ambassador Mikey Osabeko noted that the luckiest is not just a game, but a game changer designed to provide financial opportunities for Ghanaians.
This is an opportunity. It's not just a game. It's an opportunity that is making Ghanaians wealthy, rich, all across the world. It's not just in Ghana. There are some who are also participating from outside, but majority of us are in Ghana now. So that is why you can see the presence everywhere you go.
He said the luckiest recognizes the Ogua Fetu Afashe as one of Ghana's most prominent festivals, rich in cultural and economic potential, and sees value in partnering for its celebration. He encouraged Ghanaians to continue staking the luckiest to improve their lives.
Now, the motivation behind this is we consider the luckiest as a festival itself. So, associating with festivals around the country is one of our obligations. And this is one of the biggest, as we all know, Ogua Fetu Afashe. And we couldn't have thought less than becoming a part of this big festival. And that is why we are here. We want to be acknowledged by the paramountcy, and so that the people will also know how legitimate and credible the luckiest is.
Receiving the donation on behalf of the Ogua Traditional Council, the Paramount Queen Mother, Nana Ekuwa Abuchi VI, commended the luckiest for their kind gesture and pledged the council's support in return.
Still watching News 360 on TV3. Stay with us. We have business, sports, entertainment all coming up.
I love President Charcoal. Why?
When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste.
That's both charcoal and lemon.
Oh, does it?
Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has two of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal. Pepsodent.
Why are more and more professionals choosing Flamingo paint?
As an interior decorator, I aim for that beautiful, elegant look. Flamingo paint has great hiding ability to cover and transform old walls easily with just one coat.
Impressive. For me, as a
News360. I am Menu Aful. Commercial banks have started enforcing a new Bank of Ghana directive that imposes a 5% charge on certain foreign currency withdrawals. The measure, which took effect on August 25, 2025, applies specifically to withdrawals from foreign accounts not funded with physical cash deposits.
Text messages sent to clients on September 11 indicate that, effective immediately, a 5% fee will be deducted on withdrawals from foreign accounts funded by transfers or check deposits. However, withdrawals from accounts funded with fiscal cash remain exempt from this charge. A letter dated August 27 and cited by 3 Business shows that the central bank also requires lenders to file a detailed utilization report for every withdrawal of foreign currency not backed by fiscal cash deposits. The report must clearly indicate how the withdrawn funds were purchased and used. The directive further extends to commercial banks that import foreign currency cash. Such institutions must justify their request for importation and later report how the imported funds were utilized. While it remains unclear what informed the regulator's latest move, the development adds to recent measures aimed at tightening compliance with Ghana's foreign exchange regulations.
And now the World Bank has disbursed $360 million to Ghana under its Resilient Recovery Policy operation aimed at strengthening fiscal stability, advancing energy sector reforms, and promoting climate-resilient growth. Economist Dr. Asiedu-Dartey describes the inflow as a timely intervention, noting that beyond supporting government's reform agenda, it could ease pressure on the cedi through increased forex inflows while providing critical liquidity for development financing.
The receipt of that 360 million from the World Bank is good. It's part of the whole process of the international community helping Ghana to recover from the economic downturns that we experienced some time ago. Now our economy is recovering and they are pledged to support for us. So it's good. It will increase the inflow of forex. Today we are talking about the cedi depreciation, so hopefully this will help stabilize the currency in some way, because when there's an increase in the inflow, Bank of Ghana can meet the demands of the forex in the market. So it's good. Apart from helping with the increments in the forex to help stabilize the cedi, it will also help give us more liquid to finance our development projects. And I assume that they have specific targeted projects that we're going to use this money to finance. So it's all good news for the country.
Away from that, Ghana's Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, has called on civil servants to play a frontline role in delivering the government's 24-hour economy and accelerated export development program. He described the civil service as a critical player in the policy's success, urging personnel to adopt a more proactive and innovative approach to service delivery. Speaking at a workshop on the initiative, Julius Deborah said public sector workers must begin aligning their operations with the policy's objectives to ensure its full implementation.
It is the civil service that ensures coherence, aligning ministry work plans, harmonizing regulation, streamlining reporting lines, and preventing duplications. The 24-hour agenda therefore requires civil servants who think beyond silos, who see the ministry's mandate not in isolation, but as part of a national ecosystem. The civil service as the front line of service delivery. The 24-hour agenda is people-centered. It promises citizens expanded opportunities through jobs, business facilitation, or improved public services. To the ordinary Ghanaian, it is not the president or minister who embodies this promise. It is the civil servant they encounter at the port, in the hospital, in the registry, or at the border. This means that as we ask the private sector to commit, the civil service too must adapt. This places an obligation on the service to embrace new attitude, efficiency, responsiveness, accountability, and a willingness to adopt technology and flexible working arrangements.
We'll end the business segment with updates from the forex and commodities markets. My name is Menu Aful.
Again?
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry. Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You've been giving free gifts, but I don't.
That's MTN rewards, sir. Talk, text, browse, and more, and you get to redeem free call time or data by simply dialing *550#. And on Fridays, you can even get extra special rewards like food vouchers, shopping discounts, and much more.
Didn't tell me anything, no. Would you like to know how I got the name Jolly J?
That won't be necessary, Mr. Jolly. Calling customer care service doesn't give you points.
I'm gonna call my mom. I'll call my grandma. I'll call my ex. That girl can talk, Papa. Hello, Mama. So what's the topic for today?
MTN. Welcome to Tropic.
Tonight with an exciting opening fixture between Accra Hearts of Oak and newly promoted Hohoe United at the Accra Sports Stadium. My colleague Mutala Yakubu is at the Accra Sports Stadium and looks ahead to the big opener.
4 weeks of an exciting journey begins today here at the Accra Sports Stadium. The 2025-26 Ghana Premier League season kicks off today with Heart of Oak coming up against newbies Hohoe United. Now, Heart of Oak do not have a pretty decent record against debutants in the Ghana Premier League. Last season, for instance, Game 1 saw Heart of Oak lose here at this venue to Baseke Holy Stars, who are then be promoted. Hohoe United in the Division 1 were known as one of the resolute sides that played in Zone 1. This time they are in the Premier League and want to continue that form. They are being led by a former Ghana Premier League coach, that is Tijani, who was with Legon Cities before they were relegated, and he is positive of causing an upset here at the Accra Sports Stadium. For Heart of Oak fans, they are very optimistic going into the season, having changed managers, where Masud Diji Dramani has come in. So far, we've seen him do well with the team, especially in the Gauka Top 4, where Heart of Oak finished as runners-up, and also in the just-ended Homo Cup and Democracy Cup, we saw Heart of Oak win that one. So the fans will turn up in their numbers to witness what Heart of Oak will do today. Mutala Yakubu from the Accra Sports Stadium for TV3.
Of course, the match will be aired on TV3 at 7 p.m. tonight. Now, the Black Queens of Ghana is set to face the Lionesses of England in a high-profile international friendly on 2nd December 2025 per the agreement between the Ghana Football Association and the England Football Association. After reaching the semi-finals of the 2024 WAFCON, the Black Queens are determined to build on that performance and establish themselves among the elite teams on the continent. Now, this match comes off as part of Ghana's preparations for all international assignments, including the 2026 Africa Women's Cup of Nations. The fixture against England, one of the world's top-ranked sides and reigning European champions, is expected to provide the Queens with a tough test that will sharpen the squad. Moving to the world of athletics, Ghana will be represented by an 8-member team at the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, with sprinters Benjamin Azamati and Joseph Paul Amwa headlining the squad. The competition begins on Saturday, September 13th and runs until September 21st. Coach of the athletics team, that is Elom Aminapo, is confident the men's 4x100 meters have enormous talent that could see them light up the world stage.
The team come 3 weeks in Texas. I wouldn't say that is enough. Adaptation in sports takes 21 days. That's 3 weeks. And when you look at team like South Africa that is dominating the relay last year and this year, they won the world relays in the 4x1. You know, these are teams that have been put together. Let's go back to 2020 when Italy won the 4x100 meters. Check and see how many top athletes that they were having. So they depend on their baton exchange. Now, the most successful team in the recent time when it comes to the 4x1 is Canada. Look at these athletes. They are not running any fast time. They are not running extraordinary time, but they depend on their baton exchange. That is what is making them win those competitions. Just like the Olympics game, when they won the gold in the 4x1. So, you know, it's right about time that we start treating the 4x1 team in particular as a national treasure like we do to the Black Star. I hate this comparison, but this is what we need to be doing to the 4x1 team because they have been very consistent. 2019, they are always there. They came to very close to reach 2022, finishing fifth. So if we are able to put these guys together, give them the necessary training, to necessary practice. Really, you need to be used to your incoming athletes. The incoming athlete have to anticipate the speed that the outgoing athlete have to be anticipate the speed that the incoming runner is coming with, and all those things. I don't think 2 weeks is enough for them to do that, but the team is going to depend on the experience of Joe Paul and then Azar if they want to be successful. And then you look at the new athlete coming like Rashid Husseini and Bopin and Age. They should be able to be fine and avoid dropping of baton or disqualification or lane infringement.
That's all for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Shen. Entertainment is up next.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white, our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semecha Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Chacos natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, a man is swing, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile.
Lifestyled. And Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil. Powered by 3 Entertainment.
Well, good evening and welcome to the entertainment news segment here on News360. My name is Noella Donko. Now, Ghana and Brazil are marking a new chapter in their cultural and diplomatic relations with the upcoming Afro-Brazil-Ghana Festival scheduled for the 12th and the 13th of December 2025. Now, the festival will celebrate the deep historical and cultural ties between the two nations, showcasing their shared heritage through vibrant expressions of music, dance, fashion, cuisine, and art, all taking place in Ghana. Ghana and Brazil are set to mark a new chapter in their cultural and diplomatic relations with the launch of the Afro-Brazil-Ghana Festival, scheduled for the 12th and 13th of December 2025 in Accra. The two-day event will celebrate the deep historical ties between both nations, rooted in centuries of shared heritage and cultural exchange. Speaking at the event, Brazilian ambassador to Ghana, Mariana Madeira, shares that the festival will reaffirm the importance of cultural activism.
The Afro-Brazil-Ghana Festival gives us inspiration to move forward and reaffirm the importance of cultural activism and exchange. Let us deepen this unity, not only through music and dance, but through education, youth exchange, and heritage protection, also for our creative economies.
The festival will feature a dynamic mix of music, dance, fashion, cuisine, and art, highlighting the rich Afro-Brazilian legacy that connects West Africa and South America. Officials from both countries, artists, cultural groups, and the general public are expected to participate in what promises to be a vibrant display of unity through culture. Edward Owusu-Boafo is the program's lead at the Black Star Experience Secretariat.
The Black Star Experience Secretariat, operating from the Office of the President, has a clear mandate to position Ghana as Africa's cultural hub, to amplify our creative industries, and to strengthen Ghana's nation brand through culture, tourism, and arts. Our work is anchored in building partnerships, like the one we are unveiling today, that brings global attention to Ghana while creating tangible opportunities for our people.
And now to some more stories. The biggest and most exciting SHS alumni cooking competition, Kitchen War Season 4, is back. Now, which alumni group will take over the kitchen with the incredible cooking skills and walk away with the bragging rights, the cash prize, and the trophy as the Season 4 Kitchen Wars champions? Well, do make a date with us tomorrow at the Ovation Social Center to find out which schools will qualify for this year's competition. My name is Noella Donko, and that's it for the entertainment news segment.
Now let's take a look at what is happening elsewhere around the world.
Frontline doctors in Nigeria's public hospitals began a 5-day strike on Friday over unpaid allowances and unresolved welfare concerns. Secretary General of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, Kazeem Odumbaku, said the government had failed to meet their demands, including disbursing the 2025 Medical Residency Training Fund and payment of salary arrears. Resident doctors are medical school graduates training as specialists. Resident doctors are pivotal to frontline healthcare in Nigeria as they dominate the emergency wards in its hospitals. The union represents around 15,000 resident doctors out of a total of more than 40,000 doctors in Nigeria. In July, Nigerian nurses embarked on a strike over pay and staffing issues. Nigerian doctors frequently strike over what they say are poor conditions of service amid chronic underfunding and mismanagement.
And that's how we bring our bulletin to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Like we indicated, right after this, we're bringing you the launch of the Ghana Premier League, and it will be live here on TV3. So do stay with us. I am Martin Asiedu-Dartey.
And I'm Ayisha Yakubu. Enjoy your weekend.
Are you ready?
It's 3